Hi there, and welcome to this video where we're going to delve into the answer to the question, how to be successful in high school. So this video is obviously going to be a little bit more geared towards high school students, but also parents of high school students. You can kind of watch this and get an understanding of how you might be able to help your child, because those high school years are very important years, right? Being successful in high school will set you up for getting into that college you might want to go to, or even carry those skills into trade school or any other endeavor that you're going to do. And ideally, it's going to set you up to being successful in life. So stay tuned as we delve into the answer of that question. The first part of this video, we'll be looking at your mindset and the influence mindset will have on your success in high school and beyond. Then we'll look at the importance of learning how to set goals and striving to reach those goals. We'll look at strategies and all the different strategies that you can use to be a better student, and even beyond that, we'll delve into that a little bit more. Then we'll talk about balance and how to balance out all the different aspects of your life and the importance of trying to find some balance in your life. We will also look at your communication skills and how that should develop and your ability to connect with other people. And lastly, of course, I will give you some real life examples of people who were successful in high school. So obviously the recurring theme I have in all my videos, being the mindset mentor, is the importance of mindset. And it does influence every aspect of your life, right? So if you want to be successful in high school, having what people refer to as a growth mindset is really important. The idea that the beliefs that you hold that support learning, such as the idea that you cannot not learn. Curiosity, having a belief around how important it is to be curious, having that as a value. Learning how to create those beliefs and values around that is enormously important. Curiosity is a key factor in your desire to learn, to seek out knowledge. Beyond knowledge, it's acquiring wisdom. Wisdom is how to take that knowledge and apply it and use some moral filters that you might have to determine what is right and wrong, good, bad, putting those sort of value judgments on those things. That's all going to be related to your mindset, right? Idea about perseverance. There's no such thing as failure. There's only results. Everything in life is about lessons and what I need to learn from those lessons. All of that is mindset related and is going to be crucial for you to be able to find success in high school. Being successful in any endeavor, goal setting is important. And there's been numerous studies that show that people who actually have clear, concise, written down, that's right, written down goals are more likely to achieve those goals than those who don't. So learning how to go about setting goals and then getting into the habit and even the ritual around goal setting and regular goal setting is really important. And that begins high school, be an ideal age, if not earlier, but certainly high school, to develop those skill set, the how do I go about doing that? There is a right way to set goals. And then the actual doing it so it becomes habit and even a ritual in your life. So when we talk about strategies, there's a couple things here. First of all, strategies around doing the work and study habits and those sort of things are important to develop. I'm afraid, having worked in public education for years, I'm afraid it's not always taught well. It's too often assumed by teachers that by the time they've gotten to high school, they've had these strategies implemented, and that's not always the case. So as a parent, it's something that you can be on the lookout for, and as a student, it's something that you want to really kind of develop. And one of these strategies is the ability to declutter. So when you have a workspace that is decluttered, it helps declutter your mind, right? Your physical space has an influence on your thinking processes, but also learning, developing strategies around decluttering your mind. This is where things like mindfulness and meditation can come in, where it can help you learn to focus your attention on the tasks at hand. Strategies around movement breaks, regularly paced and worked out. These are all important things that you can do to help yourself focus, learn, comprehend, take in. Beyond that, there are strategies for actually taking notes, strategies for memorizing. All of these things are breaking down processes into things that your brain needs to do in order to do that well. So from the background I have in neurolinguistic programming, when we talk about a strategy, we're talking about what is the brain doing, what's the program they're running. And that will involve your senses, right? There's an external trigger, then you do something internally. Your brain will go through a process, might involve visualization, might involve self-dialogue, might involve just a feeling inside of you, it can involve several of these things. Then there'll be another step, and then possibly another step. And then you actually do whatever it is that you're trying to do, right? Whether it's a note-taking strategy, whether it's a decision-making strategy, what have you. So really getting a handle on strategies and applying good strategies for study skills and thinking is incredibly important. So the next thing I want to talk about is balance, balancing your life out. Sometimes with high achievers, and if you listen to what a lot of high achievers tell you, balance isn't as important as some people think it should be. So what I'm about to say is an idea that I believe is important to find balance between the different relationships and aspects of your life. But there is this idea too of prioritizing things, right? So some things should be probably a higher priority given where you're at in your life. So you want to kind of begin to find out, like, all right, what about developing my socialization aspect and being able to have fun with my friends and develop those friendships and do different things like not just the academic piece, but sports, music, theater, exploring different avenues. This, I think, is really important in high school in particular. So learning how to kind of evaluate the time spent so that you're getting at least some balance between different areas and exploring at a young age is invaluable. The last thing I just want to briefly touch upon is this idea about communication, connecting with other people. Ultimately, people are your greatest resource, right? And learning to be able to connect with a lot of different people, communicate well with them, is something that isn't always taught well in high school. So you may need to do that on your own, but doing so will have huge dividends as you go on to college, trade school, military, work world, anything you do when you graduate high school. It's a life skill that's enormously important, and it needs to be focused on and paid attention to and not ignored. For a real life example, I just want to talk about two friends of mine that I had in high school to give you kind of contrasting examples of what's possible and what it means to be successful. So one of my friends was actually after the freshman year, when we were in a bunch of classes together and all, he went to one of the most elite private schools there was. Brilliant. He's one of the smartest kids I ever knew. But it wasn't so much his intelligence, and he was smart, that really shined, it was his curiosity, his love of learning. He loved to learn. But he's also a pretty well-rounded kid. He was grounded, right? He had social connection. He wasn't just a, quote, bookworm who didn't know how to interact and relate to other people, right? Academically, really successful, but again, he had some balance in his life. The other friend was also smart, but he wasn't as academically successful, but he had a lot of balance. He was involved in scouting. He got involved in the military in high school, and actually was in the Army Reserves right up through college, I think, all through 4 years of college. So he developed a whole lot of skills sets, and academics sometimes took a little bit of a back seat, but not so much that it impacted his future. He actually earned his PhD in chemistry in 3.5 years and has been a professor of biochemistry and chemistry at Berkeley, Scripps Institute, USC, started 5 different drug companies, CEO now of a drug company. So his high school years, where he focused probably more on some of those other things and those other skill developments, less on the academics, didn't hinder him because he got the foundation that he needed, right? So it's important to recognize that you don't necessarily have to be like my first friend, who was a straight A, like just brilliant academics, love the academics, to still have academic success and success in life beyond. I invite you to subscribe to our channel, check out our other videos. There's lots being added, more and more added all the time. Also encourage you to register for our free webinar, Empower and Excel. And in that webinar, you'll kind of get more of a picture of what it takes, not only to be successful in high school, but to be successful in athletics, academics, the arts, all of those kind of things that we strive to achieve. So go ahead and register for that and check that webinar out today. Oh, and the link will be in the description to this video.